That was dedicated to you, Mr. Hahn.
Superman.
Hey, well, it was available. Yeah,
It works for me.
Well, hey, we're doing this show, and just real happy to be on the show with you and celebrating your 400 podcast programs. We did a show, I think it was 200 somewhere back.
Somewhere back then today, yeah.
But 400 shows. How do you feel about that?
Surprised.
What do you mean surprised?
Surprised, I don't know, just because they're all different. There's done it. Never thought I'd go this far. Never thought I'd have this much fun doing it. The stuff you learn by the doing it, the people you meet either through the internet or in public, or the stories you hear, or this little nugget goes to that person, which goes to that person, which connects to that little nugget. And then you find out all these little cosmic dots are connected in strange ways. And it's just really cool. Give you an example, if I might. George S. Patton's granddaughter, Helen, who I've never met, although I've talked to her on Facebook a couple times. She just recently was in Columbus, New Mexico. Everybody says, what's so special about Columbus, New Mexico? Well, 100 years ago, Pancho Villa raided Columbus, New Mexico, and the president sent Blackjack Pershing down to Mexico to track him down, and that's where Patton got his start in mechanized infantry. Well, I'd been to Columbus, New Mexico, sending my Patton flag from the Patton Museum all over the place. And Helen Patton was there just the last couple of days, and I saw her on Facebook about it. And she wrote back that she was listening to some of my old 78 records as she was writing her speech about Patton. And so I'd sent her a copy of the show that I did from Columbus, New Mexico dealing with Columbus, about when we dedicated the flag to the Patton Museum, which generated another conversation about something else over somewhere else, and another thread, all within the last couple of days.
Now, I know that you've been doing a lot of shows in the area of music.
You've
been doing reviews on books. You've also been talking about where you travel in different places.
Yeah.
What sort of guides you when you're doing your shows?
Karma.
That's a good answer.
Tea leaves. The mood. I just picked up today 5 Hillbilly 78 records from a guy who tours and plays the old music back in the Midwest. And there was a couple on here that I wanted. I don't remember which ones they were right now, but specifically for the titles, because they just sounded cool. People I never heard of, some band off the middle of Timbuktu, Missouri or someplace.
But I understand also, I sort of believe that as you play a lot of these old songs that probably don't get played very much on the regular channels anymore, it sort of makes contact with people, your listeners.
Oh, yeah.
That brings back memories in their mind that they hear something that they forgot they hadn't heard maybe in 30, 40 years.
Oh, yeah. You hear these stories all the time. My mom did this. My dad played that. I remember that at so-and-so's wedding, or that triggered this memory about this, that, the other thing, or I remember that song when I was dating. And a lot of times you just kind of go, wow, that's kind of neat. But every once in a while, this little conversation starts, which then leads to another cosmic dot about, really? And it just kind of.
Now your channel is obviously podcast and it's worldwide, global.
Right.
So, it's national.
It's international.
Other countries beyond the United States?
I'm up to 112, including the United States.
112 countries?
112 countries, including the U.S. I just picked up Guadalupe or something like that. It's in the Caribbean, some little rock out in the middle of the Caribbean.
Beautiful. Well, beautiful rock out in the middle of
Beautiful rock out there. Dominican Republic. There was a country in Africa, Maratuna or something like that. Now, I will disclaim it. I just all I need is one, just one.
Well, the idea is you go to one, but you don't know who else is out there. But people around the world listen to music.
Yeah, and I have this map that I color in all the different countries on, and it's kind of neat to watch that map. And I've actually had people comment about the map getting full up and how neat it looks with all these different little colors on it. So yeah, it's just really neat to watch.
And as part of the show 400, and I'm sure you're going to continue doing much more. Yeah. As viewers around the world may, get into the show and learn more about it, how can they get in contact with you to either recommend music or to dialogue with you about music, do a show about music, etc.? And as you're going and moving toward your 500, 600, 700 show.
Well, my email is Kurt Hahn, CurtHahn 74@yahoo.com. You can reach me directly on Facebook at Forgotten Music, and I'm looking at my other screen here just to make sure I have it.
You're on a lot of different sources, I understand, because you have
Forgotten Music on 78 RPM Records on Facebook, and that email is facebook.com/S3Productions2. And if you mistype it, S3 Productions 1 is actually my homepage. You can reach me through Blog Talk Radio. Imagine you can do it through Google Plus because I'm on that. I've had people actually coming back through YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I'm always looking for that story, that somebody who has that story to tell about something.
And it can be worldwide, from what I understand.
It can be worldwide. I encourage people worldwide to talk about how that song, that story. I did a show with a lady, Heather, I'm going to screw this name up, Pastore, out of New York, who I've never met this young lady, but she called me up one day and said, "You want to talk about 78 records for my show?" I'm sure. Really a neat little half-hour show. I love to talk to people about these different things because it's all this little
cosmic connection, as you call it. About how many 78 records do you think you have in your inventory?
According to me or my wife?
According to you.
My wife says I have too many.
What's your library number? Oh, give it an approximate because I know you're always adding to it.
If I had to make a guess, I probably got 100 to 200 here at home, and the rest are in storage. And there's probably another 300 or 400 in storage.
That's a lot of music.
It's a lot of music, and I go through. I've got almost a terabyte, of nothing but music and music videos from the 78 records. And I've got about 3 of those, so they're digitally stored also.
Man, if you can fill out a terabyte, memory chip, you have a lot of music.
Yeah. My laptop at school has got 30,000 songs, not 78, so just music in general. I can't, and that's 190 gigabytes. I can't tell you how much one of these is, but yeah, there's a lot of storage.
Well, I want to thank you for being on our show. I want to congratulate you for your accomplishment of what you're doing to help relive music on 78 records vinyl. And also, again, you're inviting people to not just rest their memories somewhere, but also to contact you and share the information, their memories, or even make requests of music that they may want to hear.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. And by the way, these aren't vinyl records. These are shellac records. These records are about an eighth of an inch thick, as opposed to a vinyl record, which is about an eighth of an inch thick. These are thicker and heavier, and they're 10-inch, not the 12-inch 33 RPM records. And these are the old ones. And the reason I mention that because they're a heck of a lot heavier than the big 33 records. But no, I'm always looking for those people who have the stories about in a band, with a band, worked with a band, collect music, teach music. The stories. There's a teacher at school who had a bunch of homemade records that the family was making to send to her father, who was in Okinawa in 1950. And she'd never heard these records. And so I was able to get most of the stuff off the records onto a CD for her. And she got to finally hear her grandfather and a couple of her uncles for the first time. And she was just thankful. Got to hear her dad, who's like 90 years old now. And he got to hear the people from the past. And that's the reason why I do what I do. It's to hear those.
A lot of memorabilia coming through to different people, huh?
Yeah.
Well, before we sign off, I want to thank you again for your time.
Hey, no problem.
But again, for the benefit of our listeners and viewers, since this is a global program, it will be on demand. Could you please share with us again your contact information?
You can always reach me at Facebook, facebook.com/S3Productions2, or it's Forgotten Music on the 78 RPM records. I'm on Facebook as, let me go right to the source here. Facebook.com/S3Productions1 is my actual homepage. You can reach me through Google Plus at Big D Little C Hahn. YouTube, Big D Little C on YouTube, Hahn on YouTube. Kurt Hahn74 at yahoo.com. You can reach me through Blog Talk Radio at blogtalkradio.com/S3Production. Or through email at oscssw@juno.com.
Man, you got a library of contacts, boy.
Sometimes it's a circus trying to juggle all these things.
Well, I want to thank you again for being on the program.
No,
I congratulate you and applause for doing 400 shows. That's a lot of time and effort and dedication. It's worldwide, it's global, and I'm sure that you're continuing to help and connect other people also with the program.
I'm trying. I'm trying in some little way just to bridge a story, just to bridge stories. And it doesn't have to be the records. It can be just about anything. I just want to hear the stories.
And you share it with other people around the world as well. We're all sort of connected through the world of music.
Yeah, it's the old story of the, 6 ways of separation to Kevin Bacon? Well, I like to think of myself as 6 separate ways of separation to...
Well, I wish you continuous success on your programming.
Thank you.
And I'm sure, and I'm looking forward to very quickly having the show on your 500th show as well in the very near future.
Yeah, me too, because I have no idea what it's going to be. You can't plan this. You can't plan it. That's the beauty of the whole thing.
No, you never know where your next contact is coming from.
No, you don't. And matter of fact, I want to end with this. To all of those who have contributed to the show, thank you. I couldn't do this, and I can't do this without all those people who contributed to the show. Without them, I can't do it. Without you, I can't do this. It's, I can play the music, but if people don't share, there's nothing I can. And I owe that the world that thanks.
Well, as we're signing off, I'm trying to do something here. I'm trying to complete something here. Give me a second.
No problem.
Give me a second here. I'm trying to. Not having very much success with it, but I will try. And again, I can't thank you enough for your time and your dedication to help people to be able to make them connect. I figure I'd sign off with that.
It works for me.
Adios.
Adios.